I present to you the hero of today's video, the legendary Cuban Greco-Roman wrestler Mijain Lopez, an athlete who has won 4 consecutive Olympic titles since 2008, the standard bearer for his country at each of the last 4 Olympic opening ceremonies, as well as 5-time world champion and one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Born in the town of Pinar del Rio in western Cuba, the imposing Kid Lopez, who is 198 centimeters tall, won his first major Greco-Roman wrestling title in the 120 kilograms weight category at the 2003 Pan American Games in Santo Domingo, and he has retained the title 3 times since then in 2007, 2011 and 2015. His first major opponent on the world stage was Russia's Kasim Barov, who defeated Lopez in the quarterfinals of the 2004 World Championships in Athens, in the 120 kilograms weight class. The Russian stopped Lopez once more in the finals of 2006 World Championships in Guangzhou, but already in the next championship of 2007 in Baku, the Cuban took revenge, winning Barov and adding the second world title. For the first time, Lopez became the world champion in 2005. In 2008, Lopez had the honor to carry his country's flag at the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in Beijing. When asked what medal he intended to win at the Games, he smiled and gave the floor to Pedro Valla, head coach of the Cuban wrestling team. "Of course, a gold medal, there's no doubt about that. Only gold will do," said the coach at the time. But, at the Games, Lopez found his main rival, and already a familiar threat to his hopes for gold and glory, the Russian Barov. And as a result, the two set up another meeting in the finals. In the first round, Lopez dominated and led 5-0. The second round was more tense, but the Cuban kept the lead and won the gold for which he came. In subsequent years, Mijain Lopez continued his dominance in Greco-Roman wrestling, winning 2 world championships in a row, 2009 in Hering, Denmark, and 2010 in Moscow. But in 2011, at the World Championships in Istanbul, he unexpectedly lost in the final to Reza Kalp of Turkey, who from that point on became Lopez's new wrestling threat, succeeding Barov. After becoming Cuba's flag bearer at the Olympics for the second time in 2012, Lopez gets a chance to avenge his world championship loss to Kalp in the semi-finals of those games. Taking an aggressive approach, Lopez defeated his opponent in the first round, taking a 2-0 lead. Although Kalp tried his best to beat the Cuban in the second round, it did not save him. Lopez made it to the finals, where he beat Estonian Heikki Nabi by 2 points in the first round, kept his advantage in the second round and became a 2-time Olympic champion. Continuing in the same vein, Lopez added more titles to his growing list of accolades, winning the Pan American Championships in 2012 and 2014, as well as his 5th world crown in 2014. In 2015, however, in Las Vegas in the finals of the World Championship, he was again defeated by Reza Kalp. After revising the weight categories, at the next Olympic competition in 2016 in Rio, Lopez was already competing in the 130 kilograms category. He again led the Cuban team to the opening ceremonies, and again faced his old foe Kalp, and this time with Olympic gold on the line. Determined not to let his Turkish opponent take the lead, the Cuban dropped him in the 20th second of the bout and earned for technical points. By the end of the first period, the gap was 5 points, and in the second round, Lopez increased it to 6-0, ultimately ending the bout with a clean victory and becoming a 3-time Olympic champion. A champion whose achievements are comparable to those of the most legendary Greco-Roman wrestler in history, Alexander Karelin. And at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, the great Mijain Lopez won his 4th gold medal. This is the best achievement in the history of Greco-Roman wrestling as well as among men wrestlers of different styles. At this point, it is unknown what the future holds for Mijain Lopez, but no matter what he decides to do, whether Lopez goes for his 5th gold, he has already established himself as the greatest wrestler of all time.